CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's To Go and by Carroll Links.
Hi there, I'm Pat Stoetzer, and welcome to episode 12 of Game On, where we've got you covered on all things Carroll County high school sports. But fall high school sports aren't finished just yet. We have a boys soccer team gearing up for a state final and a football team continuing to make program history. Time to get into it. It's Game On. The football regional playoffs wrapped up round 2 last weekend with 3 Carroll County teams in action. You'll see some highlights from our coverage that took place November 10th. And there's more to come. We have players to watch and coaches to hear from as we focus on Winters Mill football and Century boys soccer preparing for big playoff games. We'll shine the spotlight on boys soccer as Century is 1 win away from another state championship. You'll also see who we tagged as the latest CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week. Like I said, the county had 3 football teams playing in second round regional playoff games. CMSportsNet brought you coverage with a special playoffs highlight show, and we're going to show you some of that right now. Time to check out how Winters Mill got past Williamsport and into the state quarterfinals.
Winters Mill welcomed Williamsport back to Westminster for the second time this season, and the Falcons were fired up heading into the game as they look to post their program's first ever playoff victory. The Falcons established their ground game on the first possession when Paris Lee takes the handoff up the gut and scores from 25 yards out to put Winters Mill on the board and up early 6-0. On the ensuing drive for Williamsport, Corey Nelson gets a carry up the middle and goes for 30 yards up to midfield. The drive stalls and a bad snap results in a turnover on downs, and the Falcons set up shop. A few possessions later, Camden Cook lines up to add 3 more points, but he's wide left on the field goal try. Still, Falcons lead 13-0.
Williamsport will take over.
On third down on Williamsport's next possession, Nolan Rowley drops back but is swarmed over by Nico Baez and Victor Tejada to drop him back at the 1-yard line. Wildcats punt, and the Falcons get the ball back. Following an encroachment call on fourth down, Winters Mill's offense comes back onto the field for 4th and 1. Tyler Carroll gets a little help and they convert. It's first and goal for Big Mill. Malachi Denning gets into the end zone on the next snap, and the Falcons are up 19-0 with under 2 minutes to play in the first half. With one last drive to get some momentum before halftime, the Wildcats take over, but Rowley is gang tackled by a host of Falcons, and we'll go to halftime with Winters Mill leading 19-0. Winters Mill continues to attack. Baez takes a carry up the middle from the gun and rumbles for a 25-yard run.
Nico Baez.
Baez finishes the drive. He goes in from inside the 2 for another 6 points. Cook converts the PAT, and Winters Mill leads 26-0 midway through the third quarter. The Falcons defense continues to give whoever lines up at QB major problems. Lee beats another blocker and gets to Corey Nelson in the backfield. Winters Mill is rolling. Dallas Poole caps it off with another carry up the gut, and he dances into the end zone for a 33-0 lead. The Falcons' ground game continuing to give Williamsport fits. Nelson keeps working, however, as he takes off down the right sideline after a play fake, and he's gone for a 74-yard touchdown. Williamsport is on the board, but it's too little too late in this one.
And Corey Nelson with a Williamsport touchdown.
Final score is Winters Mill 33, Williamsport 12. The Falcons dominate on the ground and improve to 9-1 with their first ever playoff win, and they advance to face Forest Park on November 18th in the Class 2A 1A state quarterfinals. The game is set to be played at Dunbar High School at 4 p.m.
All right, off we go to the other football results from Week 11. Manchester Valley ran into a buzzsaw in Linganore, who cruised to the win. James Herndon had a touchdown run and an interception for the Mavericks. Liberty stayed with Middletown in the first half of their 2A 1A West playoff game, but the Knights pulled away to advance. Seth Jacobs caught a touchdown pass, and threw for one as well in the loss for the Lions. Time for an updated look at the football standings through 2 weeks of the postseason. Winters Mill gets to 9-1 with that historic first playoff win. Man Valley finishes its season at 6-5, and Liberty comes in at 5-6. Both of those teams won first-round playoff games. We have moved into the state tournament for high school football. Winters Mill is the only county team still standing, and the Falcons have reached the round of 8 for Class 2A 1A to face Forest Park. We're going to bring you updates and highlights from that state quarterfinal, so look for them on our social media channels. The big game takes place Saturday at 4 p.m. from Dunbar High School in Baltimore, artificial turf. Forest Park is the home team with a 10-1 record, and the Foresters are making their third straight trip to the quarterfinals. Let's look now at the Class 2A 1A state football bracket. Calvert and Patuxent, top 2 seeds in the bracket. They will host semifinal games if they both win this weekend. Patuxent and Dunbar have home games as well. Let's talk about how Winters Mill got here. The Falcons ran past Williamsport in dominant fashion last week. Big Mill carried the ball 51 times for 317 yards as a team and didn't attempt a single pass en route to a 33-12 win. It marked the Falcons' first ever postseason victory. Paris Lee ran for 2 touchdowns and Nico Baez added 1, as did Dallas Poole and Malachi Denny. Forest Park rallied to beat Reynoldstown last week to advance to the playoffs. The Foresters trailed 14-8 at halftime, but senior Jayon Knox rushed for a TD, and fellow senior Keon Johnson caught a touchdown pass to help Forest Park win 22-14. The Foresters have 7 shutouts this season. Okay, let's look at how these teams match up. Forest Park allows less than 5 points per game. Very impressive, but it is worth noting the Foresters defeated only 3 teams during the regular season that finished with winning records. Their offense was very potent, however, throughout the fall. Winters Mill bounced back after losing to Westminster in the county title game back in Week 9. This will be the first ever meeting between these 2 teams. Let's look at 2 players to keep an eye on for the Falcons. We mentioned Malachi Denny. He averages close to 7 yards per carry, and he has given Winters Mill some depth in the backfield. On defense, Victor Tejada leads the team with 8 sacks, and he has a fumble recovery as well. Time for the Coach's Corner, and we'll stay with Winters Mill football. Coach Matt Miller has the Falcons trying to survive and advance in the state playoffs. Let's check in with the coach.
Coach, how much was last week? Obviously, it was the first playoff win in school history. How much did you let them enjoy it, and hopefully they ride that emotion into the state quarterfinals?
Like most teams, 24 hours. I wanted them to enjoy because they accomplished something. And we talked before, I don't want our kids to not enjoy what's going on. Enjoy it when in the moment, when it's appropriate, as it is appropriate, and then it's back to work on Monday, and that's been our attitude this week.
What pleased you the most about getting Williamsport a second time? You talked to us about it's hard to beat a team twice and really dominating the game from start to finish.
Yeah, I thought Williamsport played a great game against South Carroll, and our kids really rose to the challenge. I think they led Williamsport, and I have to say I have utmost respect for Coach Small. He's a friend of mine. He has a great program out there, and they're going to be back. But I think they were leading Washington County in passing yards. I think their quarterback had 2,000 yards passing, and we held them to 1 completion. I was pleased with that from a statistical point of view, and we ran, I think, 50 run plays, and I know the paper had us listed at a number, but I think we were close to 300 yards rushing. 50 run plays, 300 yards rushing, that's a solid all-around performance.
You'd love to see that continue. What do you need to do against a good Forest Park team here to come away with another victory in the playoffs and advance to the state semifinals?
Similar game plan. I'm very impressed with Forest Park's defensive front. They are very fast off the ball, very well coached. They rally to the football like we do on defense, so we are going to have to really fight for those yards. They're not going to be easy to come by. Offensively, they do a lot of similar things in regards to like running the football and making that a priority. So we got to bottle them up because, like us, they have about 3 or 4 kids that can tote it. And their quarterback can get the ball to receiver in space. They're not just one-dimensional. It's a very evenly matched game, I think. Very quality opponent, but I like our chances.
I know the kids have enjoyed this run. The fans certainly have. How about you and the staff? Have you taken any time, and hope you have, to step back from a minute and really appreciate what you guys have done this year?
Yeah, usually after the games on Friday nights, we enjoy ourselves, but we keep it in perspective because each new week brings a new challenge, and we have things that we have to overcome and we have to deal with in the classroom, in the school, on the field. So we enjoy it as much as we can. We don't linger on it because there's always another test in front of us.
Thanks to Coach Miller. CMSportsNet will be there Saturday for the state quarterfinal matchup between Winters Mill and Forest Park. and we will be giving you updates and highlights throughout the game on our social media channels. If we have more football playoffs football to come, CM Sportsnet has got you covered, so check in with us the rest of the way. But we are not done with the fall playoffs just yet. Coming up next, we'll take a look at Century Boys Soccer as the Knights go after a state championship. We'll also find out who earned the latest CM Sportsnet Athlete of the Week. So don't go away. Game On. We'll be right back.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
Each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast presented by CM Sportsnet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels. Skill, dedication, leadership. Just a few of the things it takes to be named CM Sportsnet's Athlete of the Week. Hi, I'm Pat Stoetzer. Each week, CM Sportsnet recognizes an outstanding player for their contribution to their sport. Meet some of Carroll County student athletes and join us as we celebrate their performance, impact, and outstanding accomplishments.
CM Sportsnet's Athlete of the Week is brought to you in part by Barnes Bollinger Insurance Services. We're here for the home team. And by Genova's To Go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
Welcome back to Game On. Carroll County had two boys soccer teams playing in state semifinals last weekend, so let's find out how those games played out. Liberty faced Hartford Tech in a Class 1A semifinal that was played at Bel Air High School, and the Lions came up just short in a 1-0 defeat. Still, Liberty finished the season strong and posted a 12-5 record that featured an 8-game winning streak. Century held on to beat Queen Anne's 4-3 in their 2A semifinal at Glen Burnie High School behind 3 goals from Nick McGinn and 2 assists from Ryan Bauer. The Knights won their 5th game in a row and they advanced to the state finals. Let's take a look at the 2A boys soccer state bracket, and we will see the final matchup between Century and Damascus that is set for Thursday at 5 p.m. at Loyola's Ridley Athletic Complex. The Knights are in the finals for the 3rd time in program history, while the Hornets have never played in a championship game. Now we shine the CM Sportsnet spotlight on Century as the Knights are 1 win away from their 3rd state championship and 2nd in 5 seasons. Damascus stands in their way, but expectations remain high. Let's take a visit with the Knights.
Century's boys soccer team went 500 in Carroll County play this season, and the Knights were 6-7-1 after a lopsided loss to Towson in mid-October. Things have changed since then for a Century squad that is always aspiring to reach the state championship game. The Knights have won 5 in a row to get there, and they face Damascus on November 16th at 5 p.m. in the Class 2A final. Century's players are crediting a more positive mindset as one of the major reasons for their turnaround.
Yeah, I think we just all decided, all right, we got to actually start playing. We got to play our way and not get caught up in everything. And, because we had high expectations coming into the season, and I think it was really important, to not get caught up in those. And then obviously some tactical changes, switching formations. Nick playing striker has helped a lot. And I think just, us focusing and, not getting caught up in everything, all the expectations has helped.
I think just all of us really just buying in to everything coaches are saying. obviously the formation changes and stuff. But
guys coming together and accepting, hey, they're a team versus a group of individuals. And I think when they come together and say they're a team, and they kind of bond with their teammates, it makes a world of difference in terms of just scoring goals or defending. And it's been an evolution over the course of the season.
First-year coach Stephen Hurst shuffled the lineup somewhat during the season, and the new scheme is paying off. The Knights are led up top by junior Nick McGinn, who has 25 goals and 12 in the postseason so far. Hurst also has Bauer, a senior defender, who has a team-best 11 assists and dished out 2 of them in Century's 4-3 state semifinal win over Queen Anne's. That's a nice combination, and the coach knows it.
Well, I mean, Ryan Bauer, he's got a big throw, and that's helped a number of times, particularly in front of the goal with throw-ins down here in the final third. And with Nick, he seems to be consistently the guy in the right place at the right time.
Bauer says his successful heaves with the soccer ball has always come naturally to him.
Obviously, the throw-in, just kind of always had it. Just I'd never really work on it, and just being able to be in the right spot. Putting the ball in and just helping out the other guys scoring. I don't get to score much, but, it's still on the stat sheet, so. Yeah.
Century faces a Damascus team that takes a 15-2 record into the state final at Loyola's Ridley Athletic Complex, and the Hornets are going for their first state championship. Damascus last reached the state tournament way back in 1989. The Knights, meanwhile, are into the finals for the 3rd time in their history, and they won the 2A title back in 2019. Bauer said Century's approach to the final game of the season is pretty simple.
Yeah, we're all really excited. We're all pumped up for this. We know we can do it if we really all play together and play well, and we just keep saying 80 minutes of soccer. Just 80 minutes. Some people only have 80 minutes of soccer left in their whole career, and just keep 80 minutes of soccer. If we can do a good 80 minutes of soccer, then we'll be state champions.
Our thanks to Century for letting us spend some time with them at practice. We'll have updates and highlights from the 2A state final between the Knights and the Hornets, so be on the lookout for them coming up. Time for the latest CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week, someone we've already mentioned on the show. He helped his team get to a state championship game by scoring 3 times in the semifinals, and he's been lethal in the playoffs to this point. Let's see who it is.
All right, this week's CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week, Nick McGinn, Century Boys Soccer. Nick is on fire right now offensively, and Century's into the state championship game. Nick, huge game Saturday. Last 2 Saturdays, big games for you guys. What was your attitude going into the quarterfinals and then again in the semifinals on how you wanted to survive in advance?
We just wanted to win the game, honestly. We were going in, playing our offense the way we have been, and just trying to get on the end of many goals as possible.
Jumping ahead like you did in the semifinal, I think you're up 4-1 at the half, up 4-0 at one point. How much of that is confidence for you guys knowing that you can put goals in the net? You did it against Winters Mill, you did it against Hereford, you did it against Queen Anne's.
Yeah, I feel like when the offense plays good like that, it makes the defense play better too. And just when the whole team's cooking like we have been, it just starts to work. I don't know.
Yeah, and you're at the top of that offense, and there's other guys that contribute, but how much do you put upon yourself to be the go-to scorer if the team needs it? If the team needs a goal, do you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to get out there and make a play and make something happen?
Yeah, I just do my best to play my role in the team, and my role right now is to score as many goals as possible. So,
what's that like? Is there any pressure involved with that? Do you feel any pressure when you're playing?
Kind of. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a flow state, and I don't know. I just get on the end of everything. It's kind of in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the most fun part of these last few weeks been? You guys were 6-7 at one point, didn't have the best regular season. You caught fire right now. You're 1 win away from a state championship. What's this been like?
It's just been, I don't know, just super fun. Hanging out with my friends every day. Just get to do it another week now before the game. And, I don't know. Just hanging out after the games. It's fun too.
All right, well, enjoy as much as you can, man, and good luck in the finals. That's what that'll do. This week's CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week, Nick McGinn, Century Boys Soccer.
CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week is brought to you in part by Barnes Bollinger Insurance Services and by Genova's To Go.
Congrats to Nick McGinn, and good luck to him and his Century teammates in the state final Thursday night. We have a few shout-outs on Game On this week, and first up is South Carroll's field hockey team, which defeated Pocomoke 2-1 to capture the 1A state title. Senior Kaylin Yankel scored the go-ahead goal early in the 4th quarter, and the Cavaliers made it stand for their program's 6th state championship. SC also avenged last year's 5-1 loss to mighty Pocomoke in the state final. Another championship, another Game On shout out. This one goes to Liberty Boys Cross Country, fresh off a 1A title at the state meet. The Lions had 4 runners in the top 7 of the field and ran away with the team crown, led by individual champ, junior Gregory Shellberg. Liberty now has 8 boys cross-country state titles. And one addition to that, Carroll County had a girls individual champ as well, thanks to Century freshman Taylor Colson, who won the 2A race. Fall sports are winding down, but CMSportsNet will be putting together a special Game On episode to wrap up the season. Look for that show on November 29th. And that's it for this week's episode of Game On. As always, thanks for watching. A reminder to check in and stay tuned with CMSportsNet for boys soccer state final and football state quarterfinal updates and highlights in the coming days. Century faces Damascus on Thursday in the 2A boys soccer final, and Winters Mill football meets Forest Park on Saturday in the 2A 1A quarterfinals. Be sure to catch all of our high school sports content online on Facebook and YouTube, as well as our website at cmsportsnet.com. And you can watch us on cable channel HD 1086. Thanks again, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.